Born Strong Sports. We got Jared Bush is joined by Boog Knight as he sits down with G. Bush on the barbershop to uncover some of the expert secrets of the Sanders family, a close and detailed conversation with G. Bush and Boog Knight. And shout out to G. Bush and make sure you subscribe to his channel. And let's take a listen to some of the conversation.
What makes them so different in terms of being able to generate that amount of interest and do business, even when you have bad things happen, like you drop to the fifth round, but your business don't stop? What makes them special in being able to continue up and do business on a high level?
Special will always be special, and those two that you just mentioned, they come from special. Coach Brown, at the end of the day, man, God-fearing, like everything that he's poured into them guys since they were young, even since I've been around, even before I come around, like that's always been what he stood upon. So when they have an identity in Christ in a way like that, they can't be wavered. They can't never not know who they are. They can't ever be in a situation where they don't understand who they are, where they come from. And when you start saying, yeah, he might have lost some things, but he gained a lot along the way as well. And some things that may have gotten lost early on, what people might have, some people it might have been detrimental to, but for Shedeur, that was a situation where I think it just set him up for even more on the back end. And he understood that. And he also understood that, what he was up against, and he took it on the chin like a champ. I don't know too many guys that age that could have the fall from grace, as we would say, or whatever you want to call it, take that and then turn it into as much positive as he's turned it over the last 7, 8, 9 months. Like, man, that's just, just being grounded in who you are, knowing who you are and what they come from. They come from greatness.
When you talk about, knowing where you come from, knowing who you are, let's talk about this. What are your thoughts on the journey from Shedeur Sanders throughout the year? You take a look at what he did, and I told people, I said, bro, I feel it's miraculous that a person can come out here and throw for that many yards against the Titans with no first team reps, no opportunity to get acclimated into what's going on. And for him to be able to come out, and I thought he showed the most in one of his.
No, after you said that, I thought about it. Man, he came out there and threw for like 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, and one INT, and he had 29 yards rushing against the Titans. That was a heck of a game, man, to come out like that after not getting any first team. He was doing his thing, man, this year.
I would say statistically, in one of his most up and down game was the last game of the season against the Bengals, where he didn't play well. It seemed like, he talked about his spirit being kind of, in a place where, he was at a place where he was sunken a little bit, didn't have his energy. And his teammates kept saying to him, hey, we need you to come on out there. He was able to put the drive together. Talk about the mental aspect of what he went through this year, and what do you mean? Give us some insight on where he was going through at the end of the season, where he said he was at a sunken place.
I'll start there and then I'll go back. In that last game against the Bengals, it was everything I expected it was going to be. I knew he was going to start Rocky, and I knew it was going to, whatever it was, I don't know where it was going to come from, because normally when we sense that we've been together so long that when we know it's going to be Rocky, we could kind of step in, because I'm in the locker room at Colorado. I'm in the I'm here or wherever, or I'm at the house or whatever. We could kind of intervene, or if we're on the sideline, we see it, we can intervene. But, when he's there, his hands off. We're not allowed there. So I didn't know where it was going to come from, but I knew it was going to be something that sparked. And when it started out early on, G. Bush, I said, man, this is going to be a rough one starting out. But I said, but he's going to find a way to win. He's going to find a way to win this game. I said, it's going to start rough, but he's going to find a way to win this game. Because that morning, I was on my way. I was in between traveling, trying to get from Louisiana. Then I had to reroute to Detroit. Then it was snowing. I had to get in the car and drive to Cleveland. It was so much. And he called me like 4-something that morning, early, like, Bug, give me something good, brother. Like, give me something good. And I know he was searching for something. For it to be that early, he was searching. Like, I'm like, bro, I don't even know what to say. Like, what you think? He like, he's like, just one of them. I'm like, one of them? He like, one of them. I like, man, you gonna figure it out, bro. He said, I know, but man, you ain't got nothing for me right now. Like, bro, it's 4 a.m, bro. I ain't got nothing for you right now, But if before games come up,
is he looking for a positive word? Is he looking for what was it? Was it an emotional thing where he just wasn't feeling the energy level, or was it the culmination of the season that was kind of bearing down on him at that point?
Gee, I'm not gonna say this wasn't his words. This is me just being big bro and just understanding and just sitting back and observing. I felt like whatever was going on in that building for so long, it got to that last game, and mentally he was already like, whew, I don't know how I made it, but I made it, and I got to do it one more time. I just got to get through one more, and I'm trying to figure out what is it that I need to get me through this one more, and I'm searching for it right now. And then I think he was kind of depleted, and you know what I'm saying, at a sense of like, and again, I have so much confidence. I said, I know you're gonna figure it out. And when he started slow, I'm sitting in the stands. I'm in the game like, oh, there you go. I see it. And then like right around the third quarter, he came and he got the popping, he got the hitting his step, he got that walk he got. I said, oh yeah, we good. We all right now. He didn't, whatever it was, he found it. And that's when later on, he came out and said the teammates in the locker room was telling him, they gave him the confidence and boom. So whatever it was that I couldn't give him at 4 something that morning, he found it from his brothers on side of him in that locker room at halftime.
Man,
so
yeah.
You could tell that game that he was struggling and he needed something extra. That was a long season, man, to go through all the mini camps, the rookie camps, the mini camps, the OTAs, going through not getting no first team reps and watching Gabriel go out there and start and get all the first team reps. And then you have to fight your way and finally get your shot. And they throw you in at halftime your first NFL game, and then all of a sudden now you're starting and in the middle of the year and everybody else is warmed up and here you go and you the guy and everybody expecting all these things from you, and you hadn't had really no opportunity to get even lathered up or work with your linemen or work with your wide receivers or anything. So it was a lot, man. That had to take its toll on him.
I get what you're saying now. In terms of that, let's dig into, the relationship. One of the things that we talked about, and we went back and forth a bunch with some of this stuff, was we talked about the situation with Shedeur Sanders and a lot with the media, some of the questions that they were asking him. There was this whole thing set up of, was Coach Stefanski, was he, did Shedeur like the play calling? Do you think that, did you agree with his play calling? There was a lot to be said about his relationship with Kevin Stefanski. And at times, I felt there was a lot to be left desired. I think the organization did not do a good enough job of explaining what their idea for Shedeur was, what the quarterback room was going to be. And I thought they made a big error with having a quarterback competition. And then from my outside looking in and from a lot of people's eyes, it wasn't a real quarterback competition. He wasn't given the opportunity to do what the other guys had got a chance to do. So how was that in his relationship and trying to navigate that? And how do you think he came out and did after he was able to start getting reps and start playing?
Man, G. Bush, I don't know if you remember this. When I first met you, I came and sat on that couch with you over there on the show.
Yep, on UCSS.
Yep. And I said, man, be honest with you, I was already realistic with him in the beginning, myself and several others, that I hear they saying you're going to have a fair shot, but we knew that fair shot wasn't going to be so fair. And mentally, and I think it was great that he was prepared for it, because mentally it wasn't a shock to him when he went in there and all this stuff started happening. It was kind of like, hey, man, you're going to be throwing the guys that might not be, you might be throwing to them today and tomorrow they might be nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to figure out how to navigate that and make that work. So for him, that was that. Far as how they handled it, I don't agree with a lot they handle, but I mean, people got processes that they do, and for whatever reason they do them. I don't know. I don't have that answer. And his relationship with Coach Stefanski was the one that, Shadeur's always got it. He's never gonna say nothing bad about nobody. Mm-hmm. Even if he feels it, I could feel it, I could see it, but he's never going to let that, because he also know that, there's death and power, in the power, death and life and the power of the tongue. He also understands that too. So even when some things were off or something, he always like, I'm fine. I'm navigating. I'm figuring it out. I would like to, be with the ones and get a full understanding of who I'm throwing to, but that's not my situation right now. So in the meantime, I'll just, be a better student and learn what it is they're trying to, teach me so I can apply it when my time. He said, because my time is coming. And he did say, he always say, man, my time is coming. I don't know when, but my time is coming. I'm going to play this shit. So he knew from day that he was going to play it. For whatever reason, whatever was going on in there, he knew he was going to play that year. And he never said why.
The thing that I always got, and I used to do these shows on Saturdays in the barbershop, and I used to always say, I was like, man, I don't know if he's listening to none of this stuff. Matter of fact, he probably shouldn't during the regular season, but I always told him that one of the things that you learn, especially in a city like this and in the way that our media is set up, and the media in general, is you got to be on point year round, because anything you can and say will be used. It will come back. And I love the way he talked about it at the end of the year. He said, listen, man, I'm never going to tell you that is the coach. That is not my place, and it is disrespectful to second guess. And a lot of people say, oh, well, it was a regular question. Nah, it wasn't no regular question.
No, it wasn't regular questions. And they were trying to entice him into saying something even worse. Like every time you turned around, they were trying to edge him into saying something that would incriminate himself on any level, just twist his words, everything, man. It was ridiculous between all those media people asking ridiculous questions.
I'm glad he stood on business. And because for a lot of it, I think a lot of questions they ask him, I'm gonna just be clear with it. Some of them, these guys is baiting questions. They're questions to dig in. They're questions to get something out of you. And the second you open up, I think the Rex Ryan thing, when he was miming and stuff, I think that was a situation where he kind of he turned. He's like, boy, it's getting crazy out here. It's getting wild out here. How do you feel? Do you feel like that was an over exaggeration with the Rex Ryan stuff?
Man, I feel like Rex was out of line for that, man. That's just me personally. Like, come on, man. I done seen Rex show people so much love and do so many things, that I didn't expect him to come, with that one for Shedeur. Like, man, like to try to make it out that he was immature, that he was just, a distraction, and he needs to do this and stop falling. Oh, it was just so much, brother. I was like, man, really, bro, like this is what we doing. You already trying to kick a man while he down, and then this kid was just going to work every day, trying to get from one day to the next, so many uncertainties, so many things that he just didn't know what to expect. And he still showed up to work every day and did the best of his ability, what he knew to do. And that, that just show up and keep working. And, you see all the clips on the side, him on the side throwing, here and just doing whatever he can mentally just to stay in the moment and not do what a lot of people would have done.
Right.
Absolutely, man. Rex Ryan was out of pocket totally, and we had a video on that, so I don't need to say no more about that. But everybody know how I feel about that situation. I went in really deep on a couple of videos on Rex Ryan, but that was a great piece by G. Bush with and he got another banger, man, on the barbershop. I've been listening to the barbershop with G. Bush since he was on 92.3 The Fan years ago, man. With all early in the morning. I used to work out, listen to him years ago, and I'm glad to see he's been grinding and he's getting his just due and it's paying off. And check him out and subscribe to his channel, man. G. Bush with the barbershop. Hey, y'all, appreciate y'all. See you in the next video.